Now more than ever, the healthcare industry is changing lives. Freedom Academy is now on the forefront of developing new heroes. Get certified in phlebotomy, EKG tech, or nurse's assistant. Fast track your way to a new career in just 4 to 6 weeks.
Hello, El Paso. Welcome to another segment of Local Icons, and we have a very special guest. His name is Charlie Minn, and he is a movie producer, movie film director, and he's here from El Paso, but he goes back and forth between New York City and El Paso, and he's just documented one of the most interesting and most dramatic stories here in the city of El Paso. And it is my honor to welcome Mr. Charlie Minn. How are you, sir?
I'm great. How's your energy, Tony?
We're doing good. We're doing good. We're staying here, and I know that you're in El Paso at the moment, and, but we made it happen, to take this interview via Zoom because you have something very important that everybody needs to hear. But before we get into that, Mr. Charlie Minn, let everybody know where Charlie Minn is from and how he was, raised and born, and how you got into movie production.
Yeah, I came to the borderland 10 years ago, and I made that film about the unsolved bowling alley massacre, which remains unsolved to this day. As a matter of fact, it's the largest unsolved mass shooting in the nation today. 7 people were shot inside a bowling alley. 4 were children, ages 2, 6, 12, and 13.
Wow.
And that case, incredibly, is not solved. It happened 30 years ago. It's horrific that it's not solved. I believe corruption is a major reason why it hasn't been solved. I can't think of any other reason, to be quite frank with you. So hopefully one day that tragedy will be solved so we can get justice for the families. And then after that, I just started making a bunch of films in Juarez. My films represent innocent people who had been murdered. I thought I was going to come to the borderland 10 years ago and just make that one film in Las Cruces and go home. But then the 20-year anniversary of the bowling alley massacre intersected with the violence exploding in Juarez. So that's when I decided to stay in the area, make a bunch of films in Juarez about the human rights disaster there, which continues to this day. So in many ways, I feel as if God put me in the borderland to deliver some serious documentaries that really talk about specific messages. That's what my films aim for, are messages. To give innocent victims a voice, to inform, educate, raise awareness for movement, for change.
Absolutely. And Charlie, I met you several years ago when you were working on the first documentary that you just mentioned from, is it Colorado, correct? And you had a lot of projects already in mind, and to see, how you've, I guess, come through with every single one of them and give that voice to victims is, truly amazing, and that makes you a local icon in our book. We truly appreciate your work and your talents. But let everybody know what you've done recently with the shooting that happened here on August the 3rd, not too long ago.
Yeah, the Walmart mass shooting. That's dear to our hearts in El Paso, something that will never, ever be forgotten. What can you say? We had a racist outsider from Dallas hating Mexican people. He drives 10 hours to El Paso to try to eliminate as many Mexican people as possible. That thought in itself is absolutely revolting. It's beyond comprehension. It needs a response. I still would love to hear more of a response from the beautiful Mexican community about this ultimate hate crime that dealt with racism. The killer posted a manifesto just moments before he made his move.
Yes, he did.
And his manifesto matched the rhetoric of Donald Trump. Tony, this is not a political opinion. I'm just stating a fact.
Yeah.
I don't want to get political here. That's just a fact. And what happened at the Walmart was not a political issue. It was a human issue. We had human beings, innocent human beings, just going about their own business, shopping at a Walmart, and a lot of them were eliminated that day, 23 of them. 46 were shot overall. And to this day, I think even El Pasoans don't truly have a grip on what exactly happened, this documentary, which is still playing at Bassett right now, is a clean sweep of what happened August 3rd, 2019, when again, a racist from Dallas drove 10 hours out of his way to change El Paso forever.
Forever.
So, what again? There's nothing else left to be said. He shot 46, killed 23, and my heart goes out to everyone who was affected that morning.
Yes.
And the website for the documentary is 915film.com. And that will give you all the information. And again, it's playing at Bassett right now. It's been playing there for over 2 months. So hopefully El Pasoans will go out to watch the film. And the goal is to start a dialogue, an intense dialogue on how we minimize this racism.
Yes.
How do we minimize it? And quite frankly, when the tragedy occurred, the media sort of lumped it together with all the other mass shootings because we see so many. But the hate aspect was ignored, in my opinion. It was overlooked. And we should never, ever, ever overlook that. The racism involved in this particular tragedy. 3 out of the top 10 mass shootings in American history deal with Hispanics being targeted. I bet you 1% of the people in our country know that evil fact. So I'm here to spread awareness for change.
Wow. Charlie, I commend you. There's things that in every sentence you say something that I didn't know. You've done your research, and this kind of triggers my next question. With so many emotions and I guess politics involved with this shooting, where did you manage to start? What was your first resource to go get this information? How did you line up this storyline?
Tony, I just dove headfirst into it. You know, I leaned on my experience. This is my 33rd film. So I really leaned on my other 32 films to instinctively go after this topic. Luckily, being in El Paso for 10 years, people kind of knew me already. So I was able to gain their trust. So I was able to sit down with people that were shot. We interview at least 5 people that were shot in this documentary.
Wow.
We have direct eyewitnesses interviewed. We have family members, Good Samaritans. When I tell you this is a clean sweep of what happened, Tony, that's an understatement. Yeah. Everything you want to know about the Walmart mass shooting August 3rd, 2019, you will hopefully find out in this documentary. Again, documentaries at the end are meant to inform, educate, raise awareness for change. And the goal of this film also is to change the way you think.
Absolutely. Well, I would like to spread that awareness. I'd like to invite the entire city of El Paso to be part of this film and to go watch it. Because like you said, I do agree that so much damage was done to the city. And I think people accepted what it is, but haven't really done much about it. I think we need to create more movement. We need to do more about it. There's a monument there now. There's some sort of symbolism that's there. But when you started interviewing these victims, was it difficult to get with the families? Were they approachable? Did most of them deny because they don't want to be on camera speaking about this? How was your turnout about that?
Most people were willing to talk. Of course, any film I've made, not everyone's going to talk. I mean, I deal with very sensitive, difficult topics. But fortunately for me and this movie, I was able to get just about everyone I wanted. The only ones that I was not able to get into the movie were the current police, because I do talk about police response. I don't want to give it away during this interview, but people would have to watch the film of what I thought about the police response. I don't come out and say it, but I think people might be able to kind of sense what I'm feeling by my line of questioning. So as I said earlier, everything is examined in this documentary. You name it, it's probably going to be covered. So to answer your question, I was able to get most people that I sought for this documentary, and I consider myself very lucky at the end.
Has the media, have they responded well to this documentary? Have they been supporting it? You know, considering that this is all related to particularly our city, have you had that support?
No, to be honest, only KVIA Channel 7, Buzz Adams, Telemundo. I think other stations are jealous of what I've been able to come up with, or they don't want to face the facts. Unfortunately, there's a lot of jealousy out there.
Yeah.
And I've made 33 films. I've reached a very high level in my career, placing 20 of them on Amazon Prime. I've sold films to Lionsgate, Investigation Discovery. And unfortunately, some people in El Paso consider me an outsider, and they think that I only came into the borderland to make money off of the dead. I don't care about money. I care about the message. You're the ones talking about the money for the ones who are. You're the ones talking about the money. I'm thinking about the message, not the money. Huge difference. So either you want to collaborate with me and support what I'm doing, or you just want to be in denial and ignore what I'm doing when you know it's effective and you know that what I'm doing is hard work and it's really affected a lot of people.
Absolutely. It's you know, being in production now with our broadcast, we totally agree with the amount of work that goes into even just 10 seconds of film. It's a lot. Let me ask you, how do you back up your film with this particular film? Did you get state grants? Did you get sponsors? How did you fund it?
Well, most of my films I fund myself. Sometimes I get investors. Lately, I've been getting more investors the more films that I make and as I advance in my career. So every film is different. Every film is unique in its own way. It really goes project to project, case by case. But yeah, I mean, my movies are funded in all different kinds of ways. And thank goodness I'm at the level now where I could fund my own work if I need to. Good
for you, Charlie. Good for you. What's the objective now that the movie is playing in a local cinema? What is your objective with this film? Where do you want to see it get into? Do you want to see it in Amazon? Do you want to see it in a different production studio?
Tony, the goal of any film is to get as many eyeballs on it. I want to see change. I want to see my movies motivate change and movements. I want to see Hispanics and Mexican people speak out more about what happened, about this horrendous story. What's the reply from the Mexican community of how they were targeted, of how a racist killer drove 10 hours that will eliminate as many Mexican people as possible? Tony, I'm Korean, okay? If there was a story where a racist drove, let's say 5 hours to Koreatown in Los Angeles and wanted to eliminate as many Korean people as possible, you're damn right I'm gonna be angry about it. You're damn right I'm gonna say something. You're damn right I'm gonna make a movie about it. I wanna see more Mexican people and more Hispanic people respond to this hate crime. I really haven't seen a response from the beautiful Hispanic and Mexican community, and I don't know why.
What do you suggest? Me as a true Mexican, born in Mexico, migrated to the U.S. when as a child, what would you like to see? Because I like to start this movement with you. I would like to see change as well. How do you suggest we go about it? Maybe some of us are naive and we have no clue.
Well, you know, I think to minimize racism, everything has to start at home. The way parents talk to their kids. Your first relationship, in my view, is your most critical one. That first one that starts at home is probably going to set the tone for the rest of your relationships. So how a parent talks to their kid today is very important. Now, if a parent is a racist, chances are their kid will be a racist as well. But I don't think people are born into this world as a racist. Something obviously went wrong, most likely during their childhood. So how a parent talks to their kid, you know, around the dinner table, in the living room, in their bedroom, before they're about to go to bed. What exactly is talked about? What is the topic of conversation? So I think everything starts at home. Your role models have to be your parents, not a pro athlete, not an actor, not a movie director, not a singer. It has to be your parents because they set a very valuable tone, hopefully, that will permeate for the rest of your life. So how do you minimize racism? I would say it starts at home. I would say it deals with education. I would say it deals with school, informing and educating yourself to the highest level. I would say it starts with staying out of trouble and not waking up with so much hatred and bitterness and negativity. There's a lot of factors here.
Absolutely.
I mean, this is truly a sociology and psychology lesson. I mean, racism goes back hundreds and hundreds of years. It will always be with us, Tony. I'm here to minimize it. I'm not going to say I'm here to eliminate it, because let's face it, there's just too many racists in our country.
Yes, there is.
You can minimize it just through intense dialogue, people speaking up in a civil manner. When I say response from the Mexican community, I'm not talking about violence. I'm talking about serious dialogue. There's a huge difference. So I hope I answered your question.
Absolutely, you did. And for everybody out there that's watching this segment, I think this is by far one of the most educational segments that we've had, Charlie. And I hope that everybody that's watching can push this message, not just of the movie, but what Charlie Minn is talking about just now. Charlie, thank you so much. Is there anything else we should know before we sign off?
Well, the movie's still playing at Bassett. And for all information on the movie, go to 915film.com. And I would love to hear more from El Pasoans. I would love to hear more from the Mexican community. What did you think about the movie? Now, don't judge the movie before you see it. Judge it after you see it. And once you see it, you can say anything you want. I'll answer any of your questions, but make sure you watch the movie first, and then we can have a great, intelligent, compelling conversation.
Absolutely. Well, for everybody out there, ladies and gentlemen, Live and Talented and Charlie Minn, are going to be collaborating, and we're going to be renting one of the actual theaters at Bassett Place, so that it is private and it's safe. Up to 20 people are going to be able to view. So if you guys are interested, email us immediately at liveandtalented@gmail.com. So that's liveandtalented@gmail.com. And if you're interested in being part of this, absolutely free, let us know. And we're more than glad to give you the information, the time and date to be there. Charlie, thank you once again. Your work does not go unnoticed, and it's very valuable to our community and to this world, because like you said, there is still lots of racism that we need to cure and we need to get rid of. It'll never completely fade away, but we can definitely minimize.
Yes, I encourage difficult conversations. I know this is a difficult topic, but difficult conversations should be embraced, and often difficult conversations lead to change.
Yes.
There's nothing wrong with having a difficult conversation. Always remember that. That could lead to positive change at the end.
We've got to face it. If we don't face it, we turn our face or we turn away, it'll get worse.
Silence means violence. If you just sit there and do nothing, it will continue.
Absolutely. Charlie, thank you once again for being with us. Ladies and gentlemen, that's another segment of Local Icons with Mr. Charlie Minn. You guys have a blessed night. I'll see you next time.
She's bleeding. She got shot in the leg. Get out. Hey, get over here. I'm looking for my wife. Busting guns in Walmart right now. AK.
The killer told police afterwards that he was trying to hunt Mexicans and kill as many as possible.
You're attacking my people, you're attacking my city, you're attacking my ethnicity.
Allá aliviaron unas señoras y señoras grandes, desatravesaron el vidrio de la camioneta. La señora toda sangrada la cara con los vidrios y el señor con los balazos en el estómago.
You guys are making me nervous. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Someone who came from outside of our community to do us harm. A community that has shown nothing but generosity and kindness to the least among us, those people arriving at America's front door.
than ever, the healthcare industry is changing lives. Freedom Academy is now on the forefront of developing new heroes. Get certified in phlebotomy, EKG tech, or nurse's assistant. Fast track your way to a new career in just 4 to 6 weeks.